So it's official, you guys. The Philadelphia 76ers are complete ass. And when I say ass, I mean garbage. Like, terrible. This team fucking sucks. And Paul George is a big reason for that. Joel Embiid, he's always hurt. Even when he hasn't been hurt, he hasn't played well this year. But Paul George has been an absolute shell of himself. I don't know what the 76ers are going to do with his contract, but he's been absolutely fucking pitiful, man. They just signed this guy to a 4-year max contract. I think 4 years, $216 million. And he's out here playing like this. I mean, a couple weeks ago, he scored 2 points in the game he played like 30 plus minutes in. Like, he can't get any lift off the ground. It's like his athleticism has just been zapped from him or something. I don't know what's going on in Philadelphia. I really feel bad for them, man. Like, truly. I want to jump into this article, y'all. No introduction, no none of that. Paul George, the main reason why the 76ers have been ass, tries to sound off on the team, talking about they're not showing any signs of a team that wants to compete. Bro, you're not showing any signs of a guy that wants to compete. You're doing more podcasts than you are scoring points on the goddamn court. It's ridiculous, man. I don't know what the Sixers do from here, but let's jump into this, man. Like, let's just jump into this. The Philadelphia 76ers played without two-time NBA scoring champion and always injured Joel Embiid. Yes, they haven't been a playoff contender this season, even though two other all-stars in the lineup. Yet there it was on the scoreboard, all on social media, Deursion on the top of the impulsibility meter when the 76ers broke camp for the Bahamas. There was no misprint on the ticker in the fourth quarter. The Bulls 136, 76ers 86, down 50 goddamn points. This team has to be just like the worst team I've seen in a long time. For teams to have name brand players like Paul George, Tyrese Maxey, and Joel Embiid, for them to be losing to the goddamn Bulls by 50 points. I think the final score they ended up losing by like 40, but they were down by 50 at one point. Is an absolute embarrassment, man. They have been god awful this year. They've lost 9 straight games. I don't know what you do as a Sixer fan. Like, I truly don't. When they got Paul George this offseason, everyone thought like that was the hottest commodity in the free agent market, that it would take them over the edge, take them over the top. The Clippers didn't even want to lose Paul George. You know what I'm saying? They just didn't want to pay him what they were willing to pay Kawhi, which I thought was kind of fucked up, if I'm being honest. I'm like, how do you not pay Paul George, but you're paying Kawhi Leonard, a guy that's always hurt, just like Joel Embiid? Like, these guys cannot stay on the floor for nothing. But as time has gone on, the Clippers saw something that we didn't, y'all. They really did. They seen Paul George turn into a shell of himself. They seen Paul George's athleticism go, whew. I mean, this guy, he's just not good anymore. I'm just going to keep it 100, man. I believe he's 33 years old or something around that range. He's only getting older. He's not going to get better as he gets older. Who do you know that does that? Even LeBron, he's not, even though he's getting older, he's not getting any better than he was. He's just maintaining the consistency that he did maybe 5 to 10 years ago in his career. But he's not getting better. No one older is getting better in the NBA, man. It's a young man's game. And Tyrese Maxey, you got to get up out of there, dog. You got to request a trade. You got to go. It's just that point blank period, man. You do not want to waste your career on this garbage ass Philadelphia 76 roster, on this team that can't compete with the goddamn Bulls, with a team that loses 10 straight games, team that has one of the worst records in the NBA, a team that's probably might get the first round pick this year because their pick is protected. So if they have anything worse than the 6th seed, they're more than likely going to get the first pick in the NBA draft. You got to look out for your career, man. And I like Tyrese Maxey. He's a dog. But he's the only dog on that team. They got a few good rookies over there as well. But man, this is embarrassing. Like it truly is, man. It's a damn shame. It's a damn shame. Let's get into what Paul George had to say though. Did the Sixers quit? Do the Sixers realize with or without Embiid and his bulky left knee could give them their season is over? Yeah, it's done. Their season is cooked. I don't want to believe that, Paul George said. I don't sense that in the locker room, and I don't believe that. That's crazy coming from Paul George, man. This guy is comical. Like, he's a fucking clown, man. Like, he's having all these podcasts. He's bringing all these players on. He's talking about how great the Sixers were going to be before the season. He's talking about how he was so happy to leave Los Angeles and finally be a focal point of the team. And, like, he wasn't that in L.A., but this guy has just been a bad player this year, man. I mean, absolutely horrendous, dog. This is coming from a guy that consecutively makes all-star teams, guy that made a lot of all-NBA teams, and he's just coming out. Man, if I was Daryl Morey, bro, I would just quit, man, straight up. Like, I don't blame Daryl Morey for constructing this team the way he did, because if you looked at this team in the offseason, they weren't that far away from a championship, man. Like, they were at least competing night in, night out. They were making the playoffs. They were doing things to make them not a poverty franchise. And you add a guy like Paul George, you would think that would help this team. You would think that would take them over the top, right? Maybe not win a championship, but at least get them to the Eastern Conference Finals. The East is not that great. Especially if you could keep Joel Embiid upright, you would think that this team will have a chance. But, man, this team has no chance whatsoever. And we're going to get into Joel Embiid as well, because that guy has been, man. Him and Jokic were neck and neck at one point. Him and Jokic were literally MVP 1, MVP 1B. But now you could just see Jokic is the much clearer, better basketball player overall, and he's way healthier at a standpoint. Like, he takes care of his body a lot better than Joel Embiid, man. His knee is never going to be right again. I don't care what anyone says. He's had multiple surgeries on this knee. Now he's going into off season saying he's going to need another surgery on this knee, which is absolutely fucking ludicrous, man. Like, what? Your knee ain't better yet? He's in the same position Lonzo Ball was in, pretty much. So, let's get back into this. George has a little choice publicly but to stand by the Sixers, even though as they lost their 8th straight game and 10th of 11 overall, 142 to 110 on Monday night to the 23-win Chicago Bulls. And see even the odds of a play-in tournament death dip to below a point where fans are already looking at next season. Man, these guys can't even make the play-in, man. The NBA has changed. You don't even have to be a top 8 seed to make the playoffs anymore, and then they're not even close to that. Not that it promised anything better than the mess that's unraveled in South Philly this year. I'm not quite sure what fell apart to give up 140 points at home against the Chicago Bulls, George said. You fell apart. And you're the reason you gave up all them points, man. Like, y'all are fucking ass, bro. Y'all don't play with any heart. Your defense is absolutely terrible. You have no offensive game anymore. Bro, Paul George used to have a bag, man. Like, what happened? Like, even without Joel Embiid, they should not be losing to teams like this badly, man. They shouldn't be losing 9 straight games. Like, come the fuck on. Philadelphia, man, this shit sucks for y'all, bro. Embiid sits again. The real bad news, before the 6 Bulls scored at least 15 points, came hours after the debacle when the 76ers offered no real update on Embiid. Embiid misses 38th game of the season. 38 games missed this year. 38. For the sagging Sixers, and all options from rest to potential surgery to playing through pain remain on the table, depending on the results of the continued testing and imaging. Like I told you guys, his knee is done. Joel Embiid is done. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. Even if he comes back and his knee starts responding, he's not going to be the same player he was. Like, let's just keep it 100, y'all. Embiid has played in 19 of 57 games for the Sixers, who fell to 20 and 37 and only have a faint shot in earning a berth in the NBA play-in tournament. Embiid has averaged 23.8 points. He averaged at least 30 and won 2 scoring titles in the last 3 seasons, and scored only 29 points combined in his last 2 games. It's crazy, man. It's just really sad what they're going through. 76ers, man, the front office, coach. I really feel bad for Nick Nurse. He's not a bad coach. This is what he had to say. I don't think anybody envisioned it going like this. It's disappointing on a lot of levels. He wants to play. We want him to play. Our best version is with him playing. It hasn't worked out like that yet. What do you do? What do you do? The 76ers are a franchise in turmoil and suffering through an internal tug of war when it comes to Embiid. Can he play through the pain? Should he? Even with the woeful record, why not just shut him down and try again next year? They're going to shut him down. There's no point of continuing to play Joel Embiid when you have no shot of making the playoffs or competing at all. When you're losing to the goddamn Bulls, who have 23 wins on the season, it's no point, man. You just got to shut him down. Hope he gets right for next year. But even next year, there's no optimism, man. Like, this team is just not good, and their stars are getting older. Tyrese Maxey is the only bright spot on this team. It's a damn shame, man. It truly is. Babysitting Embiid is for the best, just as it seemingly was early in the process. Trust the process. You guys remember that shit? We're showing no signs of a team that will compete, George said. We just don't have the habits of a championship or playoff contending team would have. To be honest, right now, it's a little far-fetched. All we can do is work hard, try to just keep going for one another. We've shown no signs of forget championship, but a playoff contending team here. And I'm going to wrap it up with that, y'all. He's not lying. He's not lying. But coming out of his mouth, it's rich. Actually, it's a joke, man. Paul George has just been fucking ass. Joel Embiid, at least he has an excuse. His knee isn't just done. Paul George, what's your excuse? Is your knee done? Are you just done as a basketball player? Is it just over? That's it? I mean, you're not that old, guy. Kevin Durant's still out here producing at his age. Steph Curry's still producing at his age. They're the same age as you, even older. LeBron's still going crazy at 40 years old. So are you done? Is it over? I think so. Philadelphia, I don't know what you guys are going to do, man. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Are the 76ers cooked? Are they done? Is their front office, what are they going to do? What's going to happen with these contracts? What's going to happen with Joel Embiid's knee? What are they going to do next year? Forget this year. This year's over. What are they going to do, man? Don't have much options, man. It's gotten that bad. It's gotten that bad in Philadelphia. So let me know what you guys think about this woeful team, the Philadelphia 76ers. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff for the algorithm, man. It's your boy Trey Mace with Famous Mason Sports. And we out, man. Peace.